Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Tutor UK here. Welcome back to another video. Revival. Game Not Over 2024. It was a happening. As Jesse the Body Ventura used to say to Gorilla Monsoon, or Gorilla Monsoon used to say Jesse Ventura. I think I've used that quote before. But yeah, it was a happening. And if you weren't there, I think you missed out. Probably the biggest gaggle of YouTubers in recent times, has to be said. But yeah, where to start? Loads of people, plenty to see, plenty to do. We were stalling out, Daz and myself. We did okay. I said no records were being broken. We kind of knew that, sort of managed the expectations a little bit. But I think from an event perspective, it was very slick, from in terms of setting up and whatnot, and how the day ran, all the days ran. Little bit of a from a vendor perspective, because we went down the Saturday morning to set up, so we were a little bit limited for time. I mean, that, I must admit, that was kind of, when you do these things, there's different factors that play in as opposed to being a punter. So when you're a vendor, there's things you have to take into account. We did it anyway. But like I say, it probably wasn't as easy or as stress-free as I probably would have liked, but purely down to time constraints. But from a sort of selling perspective and the sort of what we sold and stuff, like I say, weren't breaking any records. Probably on par with Doncaster, best way to describe it. And I know it wasn't. I said to everybody, it's not a market. I had to keep telling myself it's not a market, but you can't help but fall into that mindset. So people sort of coming over and saying, "How's it going?" And I just likened it to the sort of last hour of a gaming market, but all day. It's kind of like just that slow drip of a couple of people, because people are there all day. They're there to play games and socialise and do all kinds of other stuff. They're not just there to buy stuff like they would do at a market. So, it was a new experience. I said I'd not stalled out at an expo before, so it was all new experience. First time trying it out. So, all things being said, it was successful. Would I do it again? Probably I would. Would I do the Sunday? I don't know, maybe not. We had this kind of a scenario with the Nottingham market when they did that a while back, and it was 2 days, and the Sunday was kind of like just dead from a seller's perspective. And that kind of wasn't as bad as at Revival, but you kind of got that vibe. Those that were going to spend would probably have done it on the Saturday. So yeah, I mean, all that being said, I think as an event, from a punter's perspective, I think it was a massive success. In terms of the fact that it hadn't been on for, I think, best part of 4 years. So Craig and the Revival team did a fantastic job. They really did. And the event itself, the location, the venue, I thought was really good. Nice open space, spacious. It wasn't all crammed and rammed in. And I think that kind of bled out in terms of like the people moving around. I don't think anybody ever felt like they were being squished and squashed. Which again, like I say, the people that tend to inhabit this hobby aren't the most, there's some social issues, and that's kind of like being too close to the people is not really conducive with their mental health sometimes. And I get it. No one wants to be next to Stinky Pete. Not that there's a Pete there who was stinky, I don't know, but you know what I mean. If you've been to these markets before, it's just kind of get that way. But look, I'm waffling on. People that turned up, that were there, kind of experienced the actual market itself, will tell you you couldn't probably turn a corner, I don't suppose, without bumping into someone that you kind of knew of from YouTube. I'm not going to list everybody because there are way too many. You know who you are. I'll do my usual. I'll mention people I haven't met before because it's just easy then. Because then I don't feel so bad if I miss anybody off. And hopefully I haven't missed anybody off here. There's not too many. I think I've only got 3 names of people I've never met before. So the first one's Gordo, Give 84 Gaming, absolute top bloke. Bless Gordon, all the way down from north of the wall from Scotland. He had a bit of bad luck. His bad luck turned into my good luck because, at one point I found this wallet on the floor and I managed to buy some really expensive games with it. And then lo and behold, I bumped into Gordon later on. He came to the store and he somehow lost all his money. What are the chances? But no, I'm joking. He did. He lost his money in town on the piss. Fell out his pocket, whatever. And the legend, and I've said this to him. There's probably people that would have offered, but the fact that Paul, the Ink Northerner, just didn't bat an eyelid does not surprise me at all. So kudos and shout out to Paul, the Ink Northerner. What an absolute fucking stalwart. Really is a nice guy. Met Paul numerous times, and it did not surprise me when Gordon told me the story and how Paul stepped in to help him out. So I think Gordon was a bit 6s and 7s at the weekend. It has to be said, and I probably would have been because there's nothing. I mean, I lose my shit if I drop a fiver, let alone my wallet with everything in it. So God knows how he held it together. We did. So, like I said, nice to see Gordo. He's doing a charity gig run thing, and I did ask him for a flyer, and he said that Russ has got them all. And then I didn't get one off Russ. I completely forgot. So I'll put the details down below or whatever. It's like some sort of charity gaming thing that they're doing, and if I attempt to remember it, I'll get it wrong. But it's something to do with Glasgow Children's Hospital. So the Nerds Titans or something. But go over and support him if nothing else. Well, sub him. Give him a sub. Well worth it. Next person I hadn't met before was Tetley Lee. Big 8-bit micro guy, I suppose is probably the best word to describe Lee. Doesn't collect for any of the myriad of other stuff. He's quite concentrated, quite focused, but really nice to see Lee. I don't think he actually bought anything all weekend because he's like the TS99, the TI99, sorry, Texas Instruments 99. He's into his Philips GX4000, not GX4000, GX7000, G7000. There's no X in this too. What else is he into? Specky, stuff like that. But yeah, he said his Specky stuff is quite limited in terms of what he's after. And he's a massive Godzilla fan as well. So lovely to see Lee. He was both days. I think he was on an hour and about going back on the Sunday. He said he should have come up on the Friday. But these are all the things. I think it's his first event. So you live and you learn. You live and you learn. And then the last one, and I'm sure this is the last new person. I'm sure of it. If I have forgotten anybody, I do apologise. And if I have, I'll do future me and I'll jump in. Time Warp James. So again, I've known James on the tube for years. I don't think anybody's met James before. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he has been to somewhere before. I don't think so. But nice to see James. I think he came down or came up on his own. And he sort of said he was late, but I don't know what he means by that. Maybe he thought he should have been there when it sort of opened or whatever. But and I think he was there all weekend, or did he go back on the Saturday night? I can't remember because there's that many people coming and going. And there's people sharing houses and all kinds of weird stuff going on. Too much sausages, too much meat. Was it Meat Fest? Sausage Meat Fest. I don't know what I'm talking about. But lovely to see James anyway. Apparently there were other people there that never came and said hello, which seems to be part of the course of late. I don't know why. There's very few people that I haven't pissed off and upset. I get that. But as to why certain individuals never came, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But hey ho, we are where we are. And this is the world we live in. So that being said, we are now 10 minutes in, and I've just fucking blabbered on. I've got a few bits. I've got a few bits from the event. Like I say, I mean, in terms of getting there on Saturday morning, it was zero time to really look around. I think I ended up with like about 15 minutes because he did this, like, members were allowed in at, like, I think it's 9:30. We could only get in at 8:30. So we were there at 8 o'clock. We were there sort of 7 o'clock, hoping we might be able to get in a bit early, but no. 8 o'clock started to set up. I think the actual thing opened at 9:30 to, like, members, and then 10:30 to the general public. So realistically, we had an hour and a half. So yeah, we were a little bit dishevelled, let's say the least. So yeah, there was, like, literally next to zero time to really look around. But I got, I had a scoop and I said hello to people and stuff, because some people set up on the Friday. I've seen Dainster, so before I forget, and I'll mention this again. It's not till October, but forewarned is forearmed. God, I've had practice here, haven't I? The Black Country Games Fair is back again. Fifth one? I can't remember. But it's on. It's on the 27th of October in a new place, not a leaky building. The Robin R&B Club and the Red Robin is bobbing along. So yeah, get yourself booked up early doors. 3 after 11 still, so they're keeping it nice and lean and slick. But you get your early bird tickets in there. Again, I will keep this and I will remind you again at a later date, no doubt. Talking of the dates, before getting to what I picked up, we will be at the London Gaming Market end of the month, so literally like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that's all it is, 2 weeks, and we'll be there. Daz and myself stalling out. I think it might be the last one at the Russell Centre, I think, but don't quote me on that. There are rumours that it might be moving, but yeah, again, my thoughts on London. I've very much championed it. So that coming up. So yeah, again, still not a lot of time to do anything, and there's still other stuff I need to do. Right. So anyway, back to Revival. I'll tell you who did meet. He was not a YouTuber, but someone that I'd kind of known from somebody else for a long time. And it was Ben Shenmuso's Mrs. Carla. It was lovely to speak to them too. Me and Ben could have probably just gone and sat on our own and had a natter. We have very similar minded in certain aspects of society and life as things currently stand. But Carla's, I think she probably even classes herself as a bit of a witch, a modern day witch. But fascinating story she was telling me about heritage seeds. Again, that's by the by, but I just wanted to mention that because it's someone that I'd known on Facebook, if you like, and via, because obviously Ben's missus, and it's someone new that I hadn't met before. So there you go. It means nothing to nobody except for me, and probably Ben, if he's watching. I don't think there's anybody else. I don't think there's any of the YouTubers that I hadn't met before that were there. It was nice to see some old faces, to be honest, as well. I should really mention that. So Retro Dave Nintendo, I think he's still called that. I don't know if he's Pinball Dave. I don't know what he's. But Dave was there anyway. Nice to see Dave. And Alex Nintendo Arcade, and I'm calling him Nintendo Arcade because that's who he is. You might find something out about that later on. Not from me. But yeah, nice to see them paired. They weren't together, like, but separately. And Ben Shenmuso, not seen Ben for ages. So that was like an old new face. An old new face. That's probably the best way to describe it. I think that was it. Fucking. There was a chap who come and said hello. Oldish guy, not mega old, but oldish, and he did sort of say that he watches. So I appreciate it. You know who you are because you were probably the only one that said it. So it was nice to say hello to him. I think that's it. Right. So the stuff that I got. So from Claire, Retro Repair Bear, who's there with Russ, went over, said hello. Like I say, literally probably 5 minutes before it's going to open. Spun around, and I didn't pick one of these up before last time. And it's the Atari 2600 cleaning tool. So it allows you to get in there and clean your cartridges. Dead useful because it means you don't have to sort of jam stuff in there to get to the pins or anything. So Russell gave me this, Claire, if Claire's watching. So Claire probably thinking, oh, I don't remember Stu picking one of them up. I picked it up, I was going to pay for it, and Russell said, don't worry about it, you're fine. So I really do appreciate that, Claire / Russell, because I say it was one I missed out on at the bloody Black Country Fair. And that's, I say, I've championed Claire. You all know Retro Pear Bear. If you want anything fixing, modding, or anything, she's a lady. Absolute fucking miracle worker. Now, the couple of pickups, there's not many. There's not many at all. But one thing that had been eluding me for probably since the London market earlier in the year from Alan Chang. I did, and I think I mentioned this. So I picked up the Cyberbots. Now, did I tell you it was missing the game? I can't remember, but it was missing the game. So for about 7 months, Alan's been trying to find the fucking game, and he just thought it had gone. So when it comes to the revival, he sorted it out. He messaged me, I found it. So we managed to find the game. This is a different box to the retail release because it's not got a barcode on the back and stuff like that. So we do have Cyberbots. Now, some people might be wondering, but Stu, why did you even buy a Saturn game? Because I've got the Fenrir, you know, and I'm not heavily into collecting the Japanese games. I've got the full PAL set, but I just liked this box. I just liked the look of the box because it's just something different. And Alan was there, and it's, you know, and it's a decent one-on-one Street Fighter from the stable of Street Fighter games. So that's why I wanted that. And finally got it complete. Now it didn't stop there. I'm gonna have to have a slurp. Anybody that was there will know that where Alan was next with his mate Nick the Greek. Say hello to Nick the Greek. He wants to come on the video. He wants to do a cameo at some point. He's always welcome. I don't know what he'll have to video it and then send me the file. But Nick the Greek. If anyone was there, you'll know Nick was next to Alan, and they did have quite an impressive stall. Has to be said. Some really fucking unique, weird and wonderful stuff between the pair of them. But weirdly enough, Alan had this, and it's the oddest thing because I looked at it. I don't know exactly what that was. It's fucked. It's fucked basically. But because obviously we had this debacle with it, you know, it was just a bit of a joke. He said, "Oh, you can have that because it is shot." Now the last vid, someone remember that I picked this game up, and it's missing the manual. Well, funnily enough, Al had a copy of Shit in My U, and as you can see, it's shot. This one's sun faded as well. This one's more sun faded. So this is the one that I got off of eBay. And the spines are still a little bit near, but obviously this is better. But this had the manual in it. So what I've done, and I think the cartridge was better as well. So I've managed to actually get a nice complete Shit in My U game, courtesy of Al. So Shadow Blasters, for those that don't know. But what's the chances? Literally, it's just like, man, that's shot. He goes, yeah. I said, I need the manual out because you just have it because no one's going to buy it. So, mate, I do really appreciate that. But that's not it from Al. So I don't want to go too much into this because there was some confusion, and I will still maintain my innocence. I do have witnesses to this. So Alan has some very expensive games on his stall. Again, those that have been seeing him at London and would have been at Revival, you would know this. And there was a couple it's mainly import stuff he does. He does some PAL stuff, and he had these two games. And I don't know the who, whys, or what wheres in terms of what was agreed, what wasn't agreed. But I was there, and obviously I was there to pick this up from him. Again, we're talking, you know, like 5-10 minutes before it's going about to open. So I bent it up and grabbed that. And he had these in the box. Just in the box there. I was there with Jay, Cybersnake, looking through it. And I said, oh, well, you still got these then? And there was someone that was due to buy them. And I sort of said, look, I'm next in line if X person doesn't want them. And he basically said, he hasn't got back to me. I said, so are they for sale? He said, yes. I said, I'll take them. You know, and I don't want to sort of fucking get the big wooden spoon out and start stirring shit and causing aggro, because I don't think it's not like that. It's not like that. But equally, I do feel a bit bad that I bought them. But I was unbeknownst as to what had gone on. And they are expensive games. They are expensive games. Alan's really looked after me here, has to be said. When people came over to the stall, Gordon was there. And he said, "Oh, have you picked anything up?" And I only had these two. And I think Gordon's eyes nearly fell out his head because he still had some of the price stickers on them. But for those that see, what you've got to understand, and I tried to explain this, and I can't remember who I was explaining it to. The way that I do things now, it's different because I do the market. So how did I convey it? So there'll be some people that do eBay, right? And probably a lot of people do eBay, but I don't do eBay like you guys do. So I just keep the stuff. So the stuff that you would put on eBay, and you sort of flitter it on every month or week or whatever, and you sell bits and bots, and you buy your games and you sell your games, and that's what everyone does, right? You've got to do a bit of buying and selling. But so I just keep it all and just sell it at market. So I get like a big cash injection, if you like, as opposed to getting dribs and drabs over the month or the weeks or whatever. But equally, there's not a great deal that I'm going to be able to find, if that makes sense. So there's not much that I don't already have. So yeah, I'm not hunting down £1 shitty Xbox 360 games or PS3 games. That's not my jam. So the stuff that I'm looking for now is kind of like that higher level. I'm not trying to sort of sound arrogant or anything like that, but that's kind of where I'm at with the collection. So these games fall into that category, and you just don't see them. You just don't see these games. Not even, I don't even think on eBay. You just don't tend to see them. So when they do come up, you kind of have to decide and make a decision: are you going to buy them or not? Hence why I said to Alan, look, if a certain person doesn't want them, keep me in mind. And that's all I ever said to him. Keep me in the loop. So that being said, like I said, I just needed to say that because I did feel fucking really guilty and really bad about it. But they're not my games to sell. That's what I'm trying to sort of say. And I ain't going to strong arm anybody into selling them. So that being said, all this waffle, I know it's a long waffle, and they are too expensive games. So for the Mega CD, and again, it's been a while. I say been a while. Actually, it wasn't that long ago because I bought one from Oxford, Crisscross. So, like I say, a couple of ones that you just don't see. Two one-on-one fighters. First one being Samurai Showdown. And by all accounts, these are actually half decent ports on the Mega CD. In like most of Alan's stuff, except for Shitting Mayu, in excellent condition. But two, like I say, that I need. I'm down to like the infamous 10 or so games that everybody needs, and these are two of them. And Fatal Fury Special. To the staple SNK games, you'd probably say Fatal Fury series and the Samurai Showdown, Samurai Spirits. But yeah, box complete. Not cheap, guys. I'm not here to lie to you and or to sort of get me cock out and start waving about and saying, look at me. But that's how it is. That's how it is with me now. It's kind of less is more, I suppose, because there's very little other than some of the import stuff, the PC Engine, down to like the last 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 or so NES games that box complete, sub 30 games on the N64 box complete, and I mentioned them before. So, and again, I didn't see any of those games there either. So it like although it seems like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, that's where my collection is. That's where I'm at with it. 24 minutes. Right, the last thing that I bought from Revival, not gaming related at all, and there's a chap next to me, and I've seen him at the Leeds market when I went up with James, and he had a fantastic store there, and didn't know him from Adam. His name's not Adam, by the way. Didn't know anything about him. I only realised who it was, obviously, when I was stalling out, because I didn't know him at Leeds. But he had some really, really nice, high-end import, unique, quirky stuff. So he was out Revival. He was next to me. Just got chatting to him, as you do throughout the day, because that's because there's no one buying anything. But what I found out his name's Fraser. And obviously he's known by the people, but I didn't know him and he didn't know me. From one of those weird, what do they call it, 3 degrees of separation or whatever. And there's people coming over and he kept pulling out these little tubs, little plastic tubs, like drug dealing going on. So me being me, as I know, he was right next to me. Anyway, turns out he's married to a missus from Laos. His missus is from Laos. And she started making these hot sauce things. And it's like a massive thing now. They're like in the top 10 in the country, like the best hot sauces ever. I don't suppose Lawn Boys Post watches this. I can't remember what his fucking name is now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, he's into his hot sauces. So I sort of said, look, make a sale again, I'll have a couple off you. Might be anything to anybody. But her name's Yo-Yo. That's what her name is. So these are like Langjang sauce yo-yos, hot green chilies. I've used some of this already. And it's meant to be like fucking rocket fuel. I don't know how many chilies there are on there. Like about fucking 10 chilies. But apparently these are available to buy in places. And this one's Lang Prabang Special red hot chili. He had like a lot. Some of them were like ginger based. These were the two that didn't have much ginger. I'm not like a massive fan of ginger, but I think they said there was dipping sauces and that. But I make like stir fries and I make my own curries. Because I'm not going to just like whack these into pepper, because that's what I have to do. I buy jars as like the bulk, and then I add all my own spices and stuff into it. So he said, yeah. So I haven't tried that one. That's going to go into a curry. Dave, Lawn Boys Post, fucking Alistair. I don't think Dave watches it. But yeah, anyway, so if anyone's interested, if you do you can find it because it's in the top 10. Yo-Yo hot sauce. Apparently it's a thing. But I whacked that into a stir fry. I'm gonna have the rest of it tonight. Didn't really blow my head off, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a trick, or maybe all the chilies are at the bottom and I didn't shake it enough. I don't know. But so the chap's name was Fraser. And as I said, I didn't know him from Adam, but he is the only person in the world, and this is no word of a lie, the only person in the world that's got a full Neo Geo AES set. And apparently he's been on BBC. Not that fucking means anything, because not talk about BBC. But yeah, he's been on proper telly. So, and a lot of people know about him. Massive Neo Geo collector, full AES set, and the sort of stuff he's got there. He started up his own. What do you call it? Like when you rent out and you go and do corporate events, and he takes his own kit, his own items, his own consoles and stuff like that. He's started to do that, as well as he's got his sauce business, and he was doing something else and this, that, and the other. And I don't know. He had about 10,000 different companies. He was telling me. I think he had like a wedding car company as well. But a fascinating guy to speak to. Honestly, really is. But what it did highlight to me, and I've said this before. Me and Craig's here again. We always talk about this. There's people like him that you just don't know exist, generally speaking. They don't come on YouTube. They don't come here wafting a cock around. Oh, look at my massive collection, the biggest collection. They're not like that. They don't care. They're just doing their own thing. And he's a case in point. I mean, the stuff that he was selling that was just addendums, would fucking blow mine and 10 other people's collections to smithereens. I just find it really interesting when you meet people like that. they're just low key. They're not interested in it. They're not gobshites. They don't care about that. They just want to do their hobby, meet like-minded people, I suppose, and get on with it. I think he did say he's more, and again, it's not my thing, Instagram and Snapchat or whether the fuck it is, I can't remember. He was showing me on his phone. YouTube and Facebook is fucking enough for me. I said that before. But yeah, we're nearly at 30 minutes now. So look, going to leave it there, guys. Revival 2024, definitely a success. Lovely to see it back. Lovely to see so many people there. I mean, there was so many people. My throat was red raw on the Saturday evening, I must admit. Didn't do a great deal. There was no. I need to say thanks to Garen Tungate. Man, that guy's an absolute fucking legend. I need to say a thanks to Scott, Marathon Gamer, because he kept offering me to buy me a drink. Bless him. Said, "Do you want a pint? Do you want a pint?" And I was like, "No, because I've got to not get pissed up." Kept offering me. No, I really appreciate that, Scott. But towards the end of the day, Garen sort of said, "Oh, I'll get you a drink," and he went and got me a lager shandy, and then I was drinking lager shandies then. But yeah, I only had a couple, and then by the Saturday evening, it was just a case of need to get some food, and I was in bed. I was wiped out by about 10:10, so there was no partying going on. But I need to say a big thanks to Garen, because on the Sunday, the heavens opened up when we were packing away. And that guy, man, helped us get the stuff out of the venue and into the van at record time. So, mate, if you're watching, super appreciate it. I need to get you a drink back. You won't bloody take a drink back off of me. So anyway, look, that being said, I think there are plans for another, I think he calls them mini revivals, maybe later in the year or whatever. So stay tuned, follow the pages or whatever you call it. The threads and stuff, because there may be a smaller one happening, but hopefully it's the first of many. Let's put it that way. And then later on in the year, you got Blackpool coming up as well and stuff like that. So there's plenty still going on. It seems like this year has been quite jam packed. There may be a lull in the summer, so a lot of things look to be picking up in the autumn, like Dana's event and say Blackpool's in October and stuff like that. So stay tuned. And I think there is going to be a Cardiff video game market. Not sure what the plan is with that. I have to speak to Dad, see if he wants to do it. Cardiff's a bit of a ways away, but something different. So yeah, plenty to go at. Look, take it easy, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.